We are live. We are live. Okay. So it's been many years of support from this team and everybody. And today we have a great guest. Welcome, Arevomboy, for the disclaimer. Thank you.
Good evening. You have just viewed our website. It's looking very good. Here is our disclaimer, and what we are sharing with you is only education and information. Suggestions made here by anyone, including our guests, are never a diagnostic impression, a substitute for treatment, or follow-up activities that are required and consented to by your doctor, your psychiatrist, your therapist. We suggest you consult with your doctor. You're welcome to participate. We have an interactive section and session, and after our presentation, you're welcome to ask questions, comment, critique, or let's go on. Welcome. I want to welcome our speaker. We had asked somebody to introduce our speaker, but he is wonderful. Every time we have Dr. Peter Diangui, it makes me feel like it's new. He has some of the most interesting, pertinent information that is so relevant to diaspora, or rather African diaspora, including and mostly the United States of America, where we are. You're now looking at our board members. We are well organized, and let me get information to introduce our speaker. Okay, here we go. Let me read it. Especially, I'm going to tell you that Professor Diangui is an associate professor, program coordinator at Florida Gulf Coast University. He also has credentials by the fact that his doctorate is earned, and he has a Christian family life education credentials as well. I think one of these days I need to talk to you so I can get credentials. Yeah. And I love him because I love the major and what he teaches. Yeah. And today's topic is very interesting. I found it interesting, raising awareness of delusional challenges facing the Kenyan diaspora. And it says, understanding psychological, social, and cultural influences. Welcome, Professor. Share with us. You have 20 to 30 minutes, and then you have an interactive session. Before we do that, we are going to take 1 minute of silence. Why? Because our Chief Finance Officer and the mastermind of this mental health, because he started the ball rolling, Reverend Anthony Kamnau, he lost his father in Kenya, Mr. Samuel Makoha, in Siaya County. We are going to take a minute of silence to remember his father. Our board member, Dr. Nancy Wamba from California, she might not be with us today because a few days ago she lost her brother, Lemmy Njoroge Wamba, and that's very close home. I can see the road going to her place. Actually, it's called Waba Road. Yeah, because it's a prominent family, but that's not it. They love the Lord Jesus Christ. Let's take 1 minute to remember, to honor their memory, then we go on with the professor. In the memory of those who have left, we maintain the faith and the hope of glory that they have gone and they will not come back, but one day we shall be reunited. Until then, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we will keep the faith and keep pressing forward. And that's what Reverend Anthony is doing today. If it was another session, we would have said, you don't have to call, you can apologize. But we are honored that he is honoring the memory of his dad, because the things that you have learned and he has taught you, they will now begin to be manifested. Thank you. You can breathe in. Everybody, welcome, Professor. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Uh, Reverend, I think our boy, I think you might have to mute so that you don't get the echo. Perfect. Good evening, my friends, my colleagues, my partners, my everything. It's a special honor to be invited to this session. Well, let me test. Can you guys, are you hearing me? Nice, thank you. And let me also start by joining Reverend Waboy, particularly at this point, to say first my condolences to come now, and of course our good friend Dr. Nancy Waba for the losses, and may the good Lord come now give you the peace that surpasses our understanding. And I request everybody to start with you, as we have done. We have just had a conversation this afternoon, and I always do that, and we pray for one another. We uplift each other. So, as Reverend Waboy mentioned, this is a very special topic, but I want to, before I even start putting my PowerPoint or anything, a disclaimer. I am a certified family life educator and not a medical doctor. The issue at hand now on delusions is more geared towards medical side and not more towards my side. I'm a professor in the College of Education. I deal with leadership. I'm a certified family life educator and approach this from more of the social and cultural influences than the medical field. Like Reverend Boy said, once we go through this, if you have an issue and you think you have an issue, you don't come to me, you go to your medical doctor and go to the right people. Let's get that right. But more important is the honor of being asked to deliver the topic. It's very special to me. And let me just begin by pointing out again, it sounds heavy. We are not judging. We are not here, but we have to be open with each other. But I want to read this out, these three parts as an opening. That success abroad is often loudly advertised. Every single time we are hearing of this person from America who has built the whole of Kitagera or the whole of Mombasa, or even here, they are doing great things. They have discovered this. And there's no doubt these things are happening. And we are so proud of what the people in the diaspora are doing. But in the midst of that, there's many of us who are also suffering. And suffering is often silently endured. Many in the diaspora, due to the issues going on, carry those silent emotional burdens, but struggle to name or admit them. And that's important. We are going through some issues, and we probably know we are, but we don't want to admit them because, remember, all the struggle, people from Madakwine village struggled to get me here, the halabe they did, and I was supposed to be a millionaire when I landed in America, and now things are not working well. I don't want to admit that I have failed. And maybe I was a CEO in my company in Kenya and all this, I was everything. I still want to leave that CEO. So, but we must know that behind the success stories of the migration that we hear, there are often unseen struggles with a lot of stress going on, identity crisis, and emotional isolation that we have. We cannot be turning away to the fact that there are many issues with domestic violence, there are suicides, there are many people who have become drug addicts in many ways. So delusions are there. And I'm going to address a number of issues here. We'll start by defining what I'm talking about delusions, the key aspects of that. I'm going to talk about why we focus on the diaspora particularly, and just because this is where we are. We'll talk about the common triggers of delusions in the diaspora, the types of delusions, the impact of delusions, the barriers to address those issues, the coping and intervention, and then I'll summarize, we take points. It should take a total of about 22 minutes. I want to be clear here. Now, what is a delusion? A delusion is a belief that is held with very strong conviction, but it may be false or not based on any reality. And that persists even when there is superior evidence against it. People often carelessly use the word delusion, or he's delusional if he thinks that is going to work, he's this. But the medical side tells us this is a serious problem. That delusions are not just that am I seeing things wrongly? No. It could be associated with conditions of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, severe depressions, or even psychotic features. Desmodus, the great Greek man, talked about this and said the easiest thing in the world is self-deceit. For every man believes what he wishes. And sometimes we just believe what we want to be and forget the reality. We find that most people will live in a myth and grow violently angry even when dares to tell them the truth about themselves. And this brings them to a point, why did I pick on this topic? A few months ago, I'm talking to this friend of mine, and this friend does not realize there is an issue. And his wife later called me and said, why don't you tell your friend that he has a problem? Because anytime I tell him, he gets very angry. And I also didn't know how to tell him. I started pointing out a few things, though that's not right, that's not right. Then I realized we may not even get anywhere because he does not believe in it. He is not aware. And you see, he is already confused and would like to believe in his confusion. But I want us to think, anybody here, please, and anybody who will listen outside here, I am not trying to judge anybody, but it's important for us to be truthful to our own selves. To your own self, be true. So what are some of the key features? It's that you are very certain and you don't easily change your mind even when you are told it's wrong. Even when you know facts point out differently. The evidence is not there to say what you're talking about. And I'm very soon going to be more specific on what I'm talking about here. Observable reality does not support what you're saying. It contradicts the reality. And it's beyond any culture, any religion, reality. But you want to hang on to something that is not real, does not exist. So why do we focus on the diaspora? In diaspora, if you look at the dark blue, we face compounded stressors that can distort our perception of reality. I came here to be a millionaire, my friends. I told everybody in Kenya, me, I'm going to be a millionaire. And now when life starts being difficult, I'm not even making ends meet, and even I'm exhausted those credit cards, I still want to believe I'm the millionaire, even though I'm struggling and my things are being auctioned and I'm in trouble. I hang on to that perception, but the reality is showing I'm not. There was a friend of mine who had an old Mercedes car. He used to drive one in Kenya, but he was driving this very old Mercedes car, and he was saying, he asked me one time, Peter, people keep telling me that I have the demeanor of a millionaire. Do you think I have the demeanor of a millionaire? Well, I told him, yeah, I think you do. Because that's what he wanted to hear. That was terrible. He went around telling everyone, oh, Peter here thinks I'm the meaning of the millionaire. My friend, you're not a millionaire anymore. You're not a millionaire in that. Just because you have this old Mercedes does not make you a millionaire. We don't fit the reality. We have cultural dislocation, we know that. By that geographical dislocation and living in areas where families are not so supportive, we do that. Isolation and loneliness creates that unfamiliar environment. Our dreams disappear. There's intense pressure from even the people at home. And we have to be realistic. You cannot always be setting. I think quite often, because we want to hang on to that dream, I am always setting money, even when money, they don't need the money. Even I know some people are lying to me. And when I stop, I don't think any child has failed to go to school sometimes. Everyone has been valid. That's the best of my knowledge. But before that, it was like if I don't set the money and I'm struggling, I'm not necessarily talking about myself, by the way. I'm struggling to get that money. Or the people, they stop working, they get free money. So I create challenges for myself. Understanding delusions among the diaspora requires sensitivity. It's a very sensitive topic because almost like the old story of the king, the emperor is naked. Yes, sometimes you have to be realistic. And we have to realize in the acculturation and the other belonging issues, they do exist. So what are the common triggers? The acculturative stress, the loneliness, the discrimination that we go through, all of us, financial pressure that we face, both even here, the millionaire I believe to be, and then quite often, whether you like it or not, among many of us, there is a lot of substance abuse. But let me go through a number of important, just to be, because I know some people may be lost to understand what is he really talking about. There are some people. I went to somebody who owns a store, and this person, very nice person, very good. And a police car was passing by, and then two policemen came passing by on the road there. And he goes down to the table. And I ask him, what's happening? Oh, those people are looking for me. They, they didn't come in, they just walked. Why do you think people are looking for you? Your papers may not be good or anything may not be. It's an illusion that there are people always looking at you. You're looking for you. They're there to harm me. You know that person has come here. They have to harm me. Oh, you know me. Because you still want to believe, you know me, I'm in exile. Create the word exile. You know, like the great people who did bad things and the government don't like them, so they are in exile. So you create that illusion, or rather, the delusion that you are in exile and people are looking for you. Nobody's really looking for you. But it is there. And someone, what do you look at? You don't know. Are you with them? Or even you probably brought them here. No, I did not. So that persecutory delusion, that's number one. People who feel that they are always being persecuted. And I'm telling you, my friend, even if I ask you, I don't want you to name anybody here because this is a very sensitive topic. I know you know people who are in that persecutory delusion. Oh, you know, my boss does not like me. Oh, you know this one. Stop it. Nobody's looking for you. And if they're looking for you, they'll get you anyway, whatever you have done. Immigration issues, yes, those ones are there with us. And that's another issue why I'm addressing this to the diaspora. We have to struggle with those ones. We are here. We have to do whatever we can. And I'm not going to be too specific on that because we know the issue there. And then I get to another. So that's persecutory delusion. We live with that. We are scared. We are nervous. Then grandiose delusion. The others who used to be the CEO of a large company in Kenya or anywhere in Africa, you know, I was this bank's head or this or that. And you came. And you get that exaggerated sense of importance or power or success. And you create that. And many of us also, and some of you see my articles here and there, Almost you start feeling that you have the monopoly of knowledge. You are so important and you can be anything. And these people, the Mamnyoro and Kalonzo and Malagaro, never come. And you think you got the solution to all the government's problems. The government is a difficult institution. We have the solution. We know it all. Hello, you don't. Yes, you know something, but so do the people at home who experience these things. Not that we are going to deny what we know, but you don't have that grandiose delusion that you're the solution to all the problems in Kenya. Yes, the government may be failing. Yes, many things, bad things. But please, be honest with yourself. You're not even so much in touch to know what is happening. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying there's some grandiose delusions many of us have. And we do know that we don't. We start feeling like I'm extremely wealthy. And true, we may have some resources, and that, as I said at the beginning, is often exaggerated. But it's okay to have it. It's true, the dollar is bigger than the shilling in Kenya. But I go to Kenya, I find my friends have big apartments and all that, and they're there in Kenya. We're just there struggling together, the same way. So, those are two, the persecutory and the grandiose delusion. There's another group here, and this one I deal with almost every week, the jealous infidelity delusion. Because your wife works with those men there, when you see them hugging each other, when we go to church, you see them saying hello, oh, she must be doing something with them. Then the same with the woman, this man loves, why does he hug them so hard? And all this. Come on. If your wife wanted to do anything, she doesn't have to show those things, and then you'll be paranoid. The same thing. There's more to women than that intimacy. There's more to men than just sleeping together. Let me use that kind of language. And I know those kind of things may happen. But my friends, when you get that jealous delusion, it overwhelms you. It can even destroy the marriage you might have because you're thinking every time she goes in the evening for that extra duty, she's not going to work. Sometimes it can happen, but in many cases, people have that delusion. The fourth delusion I want to point out is we start now challenging the Bible, challenging everything. And I have no business telling anybody how to believe in their God. But there's all kinds of misinterpretation of the faith. Please hang on to your own faith, not distorting with some strange delusions here. And right now we have got like this movement of like going back to the roots. Like we can have polygamy and all that kind of stuff. I'm not there to challenge it. No, it's not. I'm not judgmental, and it's good to be traditional. I respect that. I write about these things. I respect our culture. But at the same time, please, please respect other people's religions also. You don't have the monopoly of what needs to be known. There are some other people who have come here as pastors. And it's almost like they preach like God is their peer. Oh, you know, God told me this, and I asked him this, and then we're having this guy. Yeah, true, God talks to men. I agree. I'm not challenging that. But you might have a delusion of that religion of your own. It's there. And you may be even giving the false preaching. Oh, God told me. Let me ask God. Just hold on a minute. Just let me talk to him. Come on, please. God is not to be belittled like that. But I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying those things are with us. They are there, and we know them. Then I get to number 5. The belief that things happening, and the preacher is preaching all about me. The media is talking about me. Me, I'm the one who did this. You're not that important. Or maybe you are. It's all about you. The news anchor is sending a message. So sometimes it's true. They could happen. But the illusion of reference, it's all about me. The media, they are referring to me. They are this. I told this one. I told this one. Come on. Just like the grandiose delusion of being so important, the media or things don't always have to reference you. The somatic delusion is different. It's People believing that there's something wrong, the body is this, you see, my finger is having this, I must be having cancer, I'll be die tomorrow. I have an undiagnosed disease, and you go to the doctor has no solution. We have that. You're always sick. You're always sick. And sometimes, truthfully, of course, people are sick. But sometimes it may be just a delusion, false belief that your health is in your physical body. There's a problem. Sometimes there is a problem, but other times there is no problem. And even when the evidence, the doctors tell you have no problems, oh, they don't know what they're saying. I get a second opinion, I get a second opinion, and that opinion, a fourth opinion, like that. Then the social comparison delusion, distorted self-assessment driven by social media and peer pressure. Everybody expects me to be successful, and true, they do, and I've created an impression of being very successful. But quite often I'm pretending. So I sell them more money than I can really afford to sell. Sometimes I'm not paying my bills because my brother said he has to go to a wedding or something and they have to change this, and they have to go to Mombasa, take their kids to Mombasa because the holiday nice to do that. And me, I have to be the one to pay that. Yes, it's nice to support our families. It's nice to support the people at home and even here. But sometimes we should be realistic on what we can really do. Remember, we are still on delusions. That belief that everyone living abroad is successful has been very destructive, the one I talked at the beginning. Not all Kenyans in America are doing well. There are many who are struggling. And as a community, we have a responsibility to appreciate this and help one another. There's a delusion of very unshame. Some others felt because they came here to be millionaires. I was meant to be a millionaire. We sold everything, and I said, I'll build my mother another house, I'll do this. And then things don't work out right. Then I start feeling like I am a failure. I'm ashamed of what came of me. I know my neighbors who we came with have done so much. No, you have to accept who you are and accept your position. The expectations at home are there, but you can only do so much. You don't have to be the one to buy every coffin. You don't have to be the one to send every child to school. And it's nice to do that, and I do that myself. I know some people here, we support that 4 kids and we take them because we can afford it. If you can't support it, please don't maximize your credit card all the time on things you're not able to do. I've talked about the misinterpretation of religion, the cultural norms. Delusion of failure, I've talked about that. Identity, finally, I want to talk about delusion. Misinterpretation of the Bible, we have talked about that, and your own identity. Who are you? And I want to say this on a personal level. I want to add this part on a personal level. When I came here as a teacher, I was hired as a teacher to come here, and I felt very excited about it. And then I got very concerned about my accent. And I wondered whether the children in America would understand my Mother accent. And sure enough, I tried to train like everybody else. I wanted to speak like the white folks here, like everybody else. It took me quite some time to say there's nothing wrong with my accent. And I start all my classes now. I am from Mother village. This is the way we speak in Mother village. That's who I am. And you are from, where are you from? Are you from New York? That's how you speak. I'm not going to change my accent, and I'm not going to be insulted if you ask me a question, because if you cannot do that, please leave the class. Nobody has ever left since then. I acquired my own identity. I felt good to be who I am, and I'm not going to pretend to speak like everybody else. I'm good enough. So when we accept ourselves, and when we are with that Kenyan, we are here, I don't have to distort who I am so that I fade. I fade. And I try, we have organizations here, we have things we do, but I want them to accept me as Peter. I remember one principal, I said, I don't know where they get. He said, I did not hire you. If I needed somebody who speaks like American, there were many here. I wanted you authentic you. Don't you dare try to change who you are. Feeling too Kenyan in a new area. Also, your new environment. You have to adapt to it too. And don't adopt false persona. You are good enough. Here we got many people who believe in God. God created you whole, and everything He saw was good. Don't try to challenge God. Difficult is teaching cultural adaptation. No, adaptation, yes, but please be truthful to yourself. So impact is we get anxiety and depression. We get all these lists we go through, social isolation, family conflict, which are followed by domestic violence. Of course, we get legal problems when we get all that suffering, and the consequences can be worse. There are legal and migration issues, there are financial issues because we are pretending to be who we are not. There are relationship issues because we start accusing each other, and there is mental health issues. And then summarize this part. That's what it was for. We got all those barriers. We fear that people are going to report us. We got communication problems. We got mental health stigma. We got trust issues, fear of judgment. And we got, of course, the financial constraints. We need as a community. And this is what I thank the MH stars, Kevin, Bishop Muthe, Nancy, Anthony, Reverend Waboy, the work you're doing. Building trust. Let us be open to one another. Be honest with each other. Come now, I'm sorry to say this. I'm going to say this because you're here now. I am going to support you with the retro I have. I support you with the retro I have. Please accept it. That's what I have. If somebody else gives you 10 times more, thank them the same way because I don't want to be them because I can only afford so much. And that's what I do. I'll support you. And if I don't, I will tell you, please, and it's not just you come now. It's every one of us go through these issues. Today it's you, tomorrow it's me, tomorrow it's somebody else. So family engagement, let's focus. Don't lose the greatest value. I tell families now, if money is at the center of your life, you have a problem. Money is there to help you together. Let's raise awareness. Let's do this kind of talk, being honest with each other, being open with each other. Talk to the people. I was trying to tell my friends, you have a loop problem. See the seek help. Don't come to me. So finally, summarize this by saying, to your own self, be true. Delusions are serious. They are real clinical conditions, but they need attention. People like Kevin here, they are people they meet and they need to meet. I can't do that. That's not my area. They're not cultural problems. It's not failure to do this. Diaspora, being in the diaspora environment adds a lot of pressure, but we need to support one another. And I know a number of people here who came to support me when we were celebrating my wife's graduation, doctoral graduation the other day. Thank you so much, guys. And we need to build one another in good and hard times. And come now, thank you for your message to others, please. And lastly, let's support one another. Community networks like we have now. Mental health, supporting education. That's what this organization is all about. So MH Stars, thank you so much. I really feel there are questions we can address. How does the communities create safe spaces for each other? How do we distinguish between just doing ourselves and the cultural beliefs? What can Kenyan communities do? So my friends, this is my contact. I am not a medical doctor. If you have any issue with what I said or anything you'd like clarification, that's my phone number. That's my email address. And I believe that we can communicate more only if we are ready to talk with each other. Thank you so much, my friends.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Peter. You're always amazing. And when you come through, your conversation is huge. We are still on YouTube. I'm gonna be getting out of YouTube in a minute. We have 17 minutes to ask question, maybe 12. I'm I'm thinking, and you can help me. And then with my journey with my dad's death, um, I've been thinking, do when we come here, do we get so busy and we forget about ourselves? Do we get so busy? Like I was thinking about years ago, I had a little money and I was able to buy a land, and I put little money to like maize. I tried maize. I was told, oh, my employees had three of them. Oh, mvua haikuwatosha, mvua imenyesha vizuri. The beginning is mvua iko sawa, and then when the harvest come, mahindi ilioza. That kind of, I'm like, wow, do I just be working hard? Cabbage, I tried cabbage, and it was the same thing. So in my thinking is like, are we working a lot? And then there's a loophole. Like you work so much, and when you try to invest, there's always a hole. And when that hole is there, it takes toll on your relationships, it takes toll on your mental health, the way you say. So we get so busy in this country, and it'll say, oh, God brought us here to be rich. Maybe we need some training about finances. Maybe we need to get life insurance. Do we have those things? And one day when I was taking care of someone as a private, my second job, and we're having a conversation, I've been done, and I want to help us understand why so God is opening so much doors, and we keep going, working hard, and we end up zero. So that's my first question. How can we overcome that? The second question was, and my thinking, so when I was talking with this fellow, I was like, oh, I have a friend of mine, um, is in a nursing home, and he used to be a truck driver, and the wife is a nurse. And the conversation was, the wife has insurance and he doesn't have insurance. And he goes to, how does he survive? There's no planning. He doesn't have 401k. There's no saving because his journey was keep going, keep going. So he becomes dependent on the wife's saving and insurance. And it was really kind of um, made me thinking. So, do we need to slow down? And what do we need to do? So I have the two, three questions there, and then after you're done answering, I'm gonna come out of YouTube and people can ask openly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Come Now. These are very powerful questions. The first part, like the projects you tried, they don't work. Let's be truthful to ourselves. Let's be honest. Not every project you try Come Now will work, but that should not pull you down. You have to keep on the old teacher saying, try, try, try again. Like Edison said, everybody has failed somewhere. Edison said, I have never failed. I've only known what not to do. My wife and I started selling nearly coffee. It was such a grandiose kind of thing. It was working well at first. It was just feeling so good. And then it collapsed. We rubbed our shoulders, we laughed together, we moved on to something else. So if the expectations were too high and they fail, then you have to find a way of recovering. And let me address that in the same way with your friend, the one with the insurance. Please, people, marriage is all of us. If my wife has insurance, I should have insurance too, together through that. It's ours. The money she is making, you know that when she becomes aligned and I'm doing something that I'm not getting so much money, that talk of my money and her money, there's no marriage there. Come now. I'm serious. If you have your own finances and it's almost like we are competitors, there is no money. You can't tell me you have a marriage there. Please put your resources together. Marriage is a financial institution. You build one another. If she has her own, she's buying her own land, she has her own insurance. And then sometimes you must accept as men. Remember, last time I was talking about that masculinity trap. Stop just because your wife is the one making more money. There's nothing that makes you less of a man. If she's the one with the insurance, then if she allows you, like there was a time like that when my wife puts me in her insurance, and I'm very comfortable with it. Please be comfortable in sharing what each other's resource, anybody with the resources. Because now, Mr. Kamna, he has no insurance. If he suffers, now the wife was to suffer, eventually will learn insurance. So why don't we just combine and do the best we can and look for insurance where it benefits the whole family? Because once you start, this is mine, this is yours, this is, I'm telling you, that's the start of the break of our marriages. And that's where we invite it adding up in domestic violence and killing each other. Why don't we enjoy the beauty of love, the beauty of sharing the little we have, and God will multiply it in His own way. And but the whole message I'm bringing across that you're gonna keep on loving it in. Be truthful to yourself. If you don't have it, you don't have it. If you have it, enjoy it with your family. If the wife is the one with it, enjoy it. If the husband, don't bring a there, Mama, I'm the only one to have it. No, enjoy. Don't create unnecessary stress just because you don't have something and the wife has it. Thank you so much.
All right. So I get out of YouTube.